What's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm here at a special filming spot location because guess what? I have something supercar special for you, and it's this vehicle right here. This is it. This is a 2025 Porsche 911 Turbo S. But before we get into this all-wheel drive, twin turbocharged powerhouse of a Porsche, let's talk about what's going on here. So it goes back to the 1970s. Around the world, it was 1974. That was the debut of the Porsche 930. Now you might be saying, well, Joe, hold on a second. 930? That's not a 911. That's where you're wrong. The 911 Turbo was never called originally the 911 Turbo. It was called the 930. You don't even say 930 Turbo, because that's like saying 911 Turbo. You just say Porsche 930, and people knew exactly what you were talking about. Now, by 1976, the Porsche 930 made its way to North America, and that's where it was such a huge game changer. This Porsche that had super wide flared fenders, a big, huge whale tail of a rear spoiler, and performance that literally scared the crap out of people. They gave the nickname. This is the car, the 911 and the 911 Turbo and the 930, because eventually it would be called the 911 Turbo. That's what gave the car its name Widowmaker, because if you lifted throttle mid-corner with the originals, they were just rear-wheel drive. You would be going for a little trip off the side of the road or off the side of the racetrack that you didn't intend for. So a lot of people who say the Porsche GT, the Carrera GT, that one that unfortunately Paul Walker lost his life in, rest in peace, of course, that is not the Widowmaker. The Widowmaker is the Porsche 930. Now, over time, the turbos, you went from 1 to 2. Originally, the 930 didn't even have an intercooler. It wasn't an intercooled turbocharged engine. It just had a single smaller turbo. Eventually, they would bring an intercooler to bump up horsepower. Eventually, they added twin turbos, and then fast forward to model year 2025, we have all-wheel drive, rear-wheel steer, active aero, and everything else in between. So what I want to find out is this the now or never must-own supercar, especially with this being the final year of just internal combustion engine alone? The next model year, 2026, 911 Turbo and Turbo S is supposed to have that performance hybrid component added to it. Well, why don't we go ahead? There's lots of different ways we're going to answer this, but the one way we're going to do it eventually is go on throttle. Before that, though, let's dive into this 911 Turbo S and see if we can find out. Right off the bat, new color for 2025. Absolutely love it. Ice gray metallic. In the Florida sun, it looks spectacular. And I kind of got a little sick and tired personally of Arctic gray, which was introduced a couple years ago. It seems everybody and their mother was getting a Porsche that was Arctic gray. And of course, Shark Blue, I feel like, was played out a little too much. But this ice gray really kind of blends silver and gray in such an awesome way. You see what I did there? I'm rhyming. I'm a poet. I didn't even know it. That it just screams Porsche performance. Now, at the front of the business, you're going to find the updated headlights with this particular build. It has the active moving lights that move with the steering wheel. You have your LED daytime running lamps all in one pod up top with your LED headlight, and then down below is where you're going to find your LED turn signal. So this being the last model year of the 992.1. This is not a 992.2 Turbo S. That's going to come next year. This is still a 992.1, which is the final year like you see it. No hybrid power and it has the older headlight style, which I'm fine with. That doesn't bother me one bit. Now you do have some gloss black, some flat black, and massive corner air intakes with the gloss black splitters. That's gonna bring cool air for all the heat exchangers, because this thing has performance and acceleration that's gonna melt your brain. It literally is gonna melt your brain, and obviously that builds a lot of heat, so we need to bring that cool air to those heat exchangers. Now, as I come across the front, I have the aero active right now. So what that means is, down below you're gonna get this lower air dam. It says 911 Turbo S. This actually drops down at speed, just like the rear wing raises. This comes down. You have full functionality in the center, nice wide opening, forward-facing camera, and this does have PASM, which is Porsche's adaptive suspension management system. It actually has the vehicle sit about 10 millimeters lower than your standard 911 Turbo, but really the face of this thing just looks so elegantly aggressive. I think that's the best way to explain it. I know a lot of people tend to shy away sometimes from 911 Turbo S's because even though it has supercar performance, it doesn't have that like in-your-face styling like a McLaren or a Lamborghini Huracan or something like that. But to me, it's just classy supercar all day long. Now, what's awesome about Active Aero, remember back in the 1980s, Porsche was the first auto manufacturer to bring Active Aero with the iconic, legendary 959, the 959 that brought all-wheel drive and rear-wheel steer, which this vehicle has. So the 959 is like the great granddaddy of this car in a way. Now, as we rise up, you got that Porsche crest looking great with the German colors, and of course, Stuttgart, which is the home of Porsche. Nice indentation in the front and just unmistakable body lines, right? I mean, you're not gonna confuse this car with anything else. Timeless. Now, as we come around the bend, you are gonna get the upgraded Porsche design wheels. Love the titanium silver finish, a little bit of machined aluminum, center locking wheel. 911 Turbo S comes standard with those Twinkie yellow 6-piston Brembo calipers, and those are carbon ceramic rotors over 16 inches in diameter. So they come standard with the carbon ceramic rotors. If you get a 911 Turbo, a non-S, you could option it in, but they come with the steel rotors. Not like that's a huge deficit, but I know everybody and their mother likes to have the yellow calipers with the carbon ceramic rotors. You can option those to be painted black, which just occurred a few years ago. But this one, they decided to keep it yellow, Twinkie yellow, and you'll see when we get to the interior. Now up front, you have a 20-inch wheel. Out back, you have a 21-inch wheel, center locking with the adaptive suspension. Tires up front, you're basically looking at a 255 with that 35 series sidewall. And of course, it's all-wheel drive. Power gets sent to the rear, and then it sends power to the front as well. Coming down the side, body color on your mirror caps. This one has the optional 360-degree cameras, the gloss black, and this is also optioned with a sunroof. Not my favorite. I personally would have either just left it alone, left well enough alone, or you could option in a carbon fiber roof. What I do like is the side stripe with the 911 Turbo S badge. Very classy look to it. You have, of course, on the 992s, the flush mounted door handles. This is the first Porsche 911 to have the flush mounted door handles, and that came about back in 2020. And then you have the gloss black side sill extension. All functional. When you go 911 Turbo S, you're gonna get those massive fender air intakes with the gloss black surround, and that's gonna bring all the cool air for that flat twin turbocharged 6-cylinder. But wait until you hear about the horsepower. Now out back, we have a 21-inch wheel in diameter, still have those 4-piston, 6-piston up front, 4-piston Brembo calipers out back. Tires out back are 315s. 315s. You got rear wheel steer. And that's a 30 series sidewall. Damn, this thing looks good. Coming around the back, like I said, I have it in active aero mode right now. So when you go to the mall and you want to be cool, or if you're rolling through Cars and Coffee real slow, but you want to be cool, you could put your aero in active mode. So here's your rear wing, pedestal style that's raised up. Obviously, when you're not at speed, it will come back down. I love the way you have the air intake up top with the ice gray inserts. And it has a rear wiper, which I'm gonna have to zong because it just looks ridiculous. That just, come on. A rear wiper on a 911 Turbo S? Don't ask me. This one does have the Porsche design clear lighting all the way across. Obviously it lights up red at night. The Porsche name, Turbo S in gloss black. That's actually an option, believe it or not. And then dropping it down to ground level, more of that optional gloss black with the sport exhaust and the special Porsche design tips where it has the silver with the black oval opening slash cut. But man, do I like a juicy rear end. I want to sick my teeth into this one. But why don't we go ahead? I don't want to mess up the paint by sinking my teeth into it and biting it. Why don't we pop this rear hatch, because you'll notice the rear engine cover right behind it is going to be that ducktail spoiler. So you actually get a ducktail spoiler and the active aero pedestal spoiler as well. Why don't we go ahead, let's pop this back and see if we could find the flat twin turbocharged 6-cylinder underneath it. All right guys, time to check out the engine in this 911 Turbo S, and that's one of the two zonks I have for this vehicle. First of all, you can't see it, not like the original Porsche 930, and you can't get a manual transmission with this. It's funny how it flip-flopped. Back in the day, you couldn't get an automatic, only manual. Today, you can only get an automatic and not a manual. And to reiterate, you call it a Porsche 930, not a 930 Turbo. That's like saying non-bred. When you say non-bred, you're just saying bread, because non means bread. So it's just non. I'm trying to help you out in those social situations. Now with the engine hatch, if you want to call it that, opened up, this is what you get to see, a Turbo S badge and 2 cooling fans. Yay! But what's underneath all that plastic and sheet metal? You have a 3.8 liter twin turbo flat 6 that pumps out, you ready for this? 640 horsepower, 590 pound-feet of torque. It utilizes an 8-speed PDK with the all-wheel drive. You're looking at 0 to 60, hope you're sitting down, 2.1 seconds, quarter mile in 9.9 seconds at 138 miles an hour, top speed 205 miles an hour. The vehicle weighs 3,600 pounds. MPGs, do you really give a damn? 14 in the city, 21 on the highway. But why don't we go ahead? It's that time. We can't see it. Let's find out if we could hear it and fire up this 911 Turbo S. All right, guys, this is a special experience being in this non-convertible. How many Cabriolet Turbo and Turbo S 911s have I done? Quite a few. It's nice to finally be in one that's not a drop top. I still wish it didn't have a sunroof. Now, I know you're saying to yourself, Joe, I am willing to give up on my kids' inheritance to get rid of my 401k. I want this 911 Turbo S, and I want it now. How much is it? I congratulate you. The hell with those kids. They can fend for themselves. This has been spec'd to $274,000. But let's see what you get when you go Porsche to the door panels. This one has the optional lighter gray leather. Leather throughout, the Twinkie yellow stitching, and carbon fiber trim with the silver. Love the way they do all the deviated stitching. Everything is on needle point, no gloss black, and you do have your wiener schnitzel pocket to put your wiener and your schnitzel in the door pocket right there. Plus you have the Bose sound system. Now going from the door panel to the dash, more of that light gray with the stitching, the carbon fiber. Here is your one and only cup holder. Not like you're gonna be drinking in my 911 Turbo S. Get the hell out of here. Slide on in. Of course, you got the Sport Chrono package with the optional Twinkie yellow faceplate on it. Working our way down, 10.2-inch infotainment system screen. This is where you could change all your modes on the screen if you want to. Extend the spoiler when you're cruising your Cars and Coffee event. Let me throw it into reverse. You got your 360, nice resolution, trajectory. You can select all your different angles, all your different options. What was that doing? That was like almost twisting reality. I felt like reality was starting to fold in on itself, like I'm in the Matrix. Well, of course we are in the Matrix. I love the metal toggle switches for the active exhaust, your PASM suspension. You got your dual climate control, nice clickety clack, clack, clack. Real volume knobs. My big zonk is this. Why is there gloss black? If I option in carbon fiber, I want carbon fiber down here, damn it. And then the other zonk is this Norelco looking shifter for your 8-speed PDK. No manual available. I do like the way it says 911 though. It's a nice little touch. You got 3 stages of ventilated seats, 3 stages of heated seats, controls for the sunroof, your cup holder here, more carbon fiber, more of that nice gray leather. Open it up. You got enough room for a platinum iPhone 48, 2 USB-Cs, and then the seats, the Porsche crest in the headrest, the stitching, the gray leather, nice bolstering. This is the 18-way adjustable seat. And of course we have the rear seats as well behind me, which Steven is going to show you as much as he can. He tells me he always does his best. We're finding out right now. And then of course you had to go Twinkie yellow with the optional yellow seat belts. To open up the shade, you just hit the button, shade opens up, and you do have Alcantara everywhere. I feel like I look damn good in this car. I feel like it was meant for me. But why don't you come over here behind the business end? I want to show you the special steering wheel in this 911 Turbo S. All right guys, business time behind the wheel. You got 3 memory seat settings for the driver's side, that nice 911 Turbo S badge. No aluminum pedals, just aluminum surround part. You could actually option in full aluminum pedals, but I love the nice size dead pedal, brake and throttle. Seats, 18-way. If you want comfort, but you also want to be held in place, this is the way to go. Of course, you could option in a lightweight package, get rid of that rear seat, because really, who in the hell is going to sit back there? Nobody. And you could get the carbon buckets in here, which that would be the way I would go. But I'm not the one that spec'd this. I'm 6 feet tall, plenty of room, steering wheel, that nice Porsche design, gray finish with the yellow stitching. You got your drive modes, all your selections, metal paddles to go up and down that 8-speed PDK. It is a tilting and telescoping wheel, electric. And then you do have the older fashion with the tachometer in the center, analog, with the yellow face, and then the other gauges flanking it. The one thing I want to point out is you still have in this car, the 992.1, your twist ignition. Remember, Porsche is moving to just a push button. And Steven wanted me to make sure I pointed out, because he loves it, there is the optional fire extinguisher in here. So Steven likes to get hot sometimes. I gotta put out the fire. But you do have a frunk. It's got like 5 cubic feet of space. I don't care. What I care about is if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go on throttle in this 911 Turbo S.
All right, guys, we are inside this 2025 992.1 Porsche 911 Turbo S, the last of its kind, pure internal combustion engine. We're gonna start off with launch control. It's simple. Left foot on the brake, right foot on throttle. On throttle, here we go! Wow! I tell you what, she lacks an exterior sound when you're doing the revs. She pays back 20-fold in just downright stupid acceleration. This thing is just absolutely mind-numbing. It's like you think you're doing a certain speed, you look down and you're like, what the? And remember, yes, I know the GT3s and the GT3 RSs, you know, that's where my heart really is, right? Because I love motorsports and racing and all that. This will outperform those any day of the century, especially in a straight line. I mean, this thing is a supercar cruise missile. You got the metal paddles to go up and down the 8-speed PDK. You ready? On throttle, here we go! It's like when you shift, it's like a freaking donkey kicking you in the back of the head. That's how precise it is. That's how just boom, each shift out of its mind. Of course, we have our local Hyundai club lining up here for their big event. They have a parade through the business park area every Wednesday. Seating position, chef's kiss. Acceleration, like I said, ridiculous. The amount of grip you have, the communicative steering, and this does have the optional, excuse me, I'm getting choked up, steering plus system. You ready? On throttle, here we go, yeah! Those carbon ceramic brake rotors, oh my God, give it to me. Give it to me. Oh my God! Whereas the other Porsche turbos from the past, like the 930, they were called the Widowmaker. This thing is like a leaping leopard or a cheetah. It's so planted. You really gotta not know what the hell you're doing to get yourself in trouble in this car. So it's not just for anybody that has deep pockets. You gotta have skill to drive it, but they definitely have lowered the bar, the required bar for that skill. Whereas with the 930, the Widowmaker would bite you and break your neck. I mean, that would be it. That's how you find out who has the skill and who doesn't. You look to see whose neck is broken. They're probably dead. This though, with the all-wheel drive, the rear-wheel steer, the active aero, I mean, you're so planted. I feel like the road could be turned upside down and I would just stick to it. Insane. I can't resist. On throttle! Yeah! Oh my God, look at this thing. Look at this thing. It is so damn quick. It looks so good. I just wish there was a manual. As you can see, they're still waiting for the Hyundai Club to show up. I guess he found out he's in the wrong location. And the car is just, it's really unassuming, right? I mean, it's not painted lizard green or ruby star or whatever. But man, once you get behind the wheel, that's where she puts up and you shut up. On throttle! God, this car. the grip. Look at the grip. Golly. Oh my God, this car just makes those things happen inside my body. Which usually I should be in my own private home, but it's happening in here. That's why I got this. The gasms, man, the gasms. Man, I'm speechless. Obviously with the PDK, the shifts up and down are lightning quick. The carbon ceramic brake rotors. I mean, you could probably get somebody who is maybe a elderly person and say they've been thinking about getting a facelift or Botox. Take them for a ride in this, and between the acceleration and the deacceleration, you're gonna erase all the lines on their face. They're not gonna have any wrinkles. And they're gonna have a perma-grin the size of the state of Texas. Unbelievable. On throttle! Yes, please. Thank you. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I tell you, if I smoked cigarettes right now, I'd be lighting one. Because I have a damn good reason to. Wow. Well, I hate to say this, but we gotta get back to where this all started, even though I don't want to, and wrap it up. So I will see you in a nanosecond. All right, guys, I was able to scoop up all the remnants of my frontal lobe after that on throttle drive and get it into a Ziploc bag. But what a freaking experience. Not only being able to feature the last of its kind, this 992.1 911 Turbo S, but then take you for that on-throttle spin and show you the performance. Now it's your turn. Let me know what you think. Is this the must-own supercar? And is this the one to get the last year of the 911 Turbo S in this iteration? I'm sure the next one will be faster, but will that make it better? Let me know in the comment section how you feel about that. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Rights family. Got to give it up to Stephen Flood. I promised him a German lunch, so we're going to go get some bratwurst and some Wiener Schnitzel, and then he's going to hit the gym. So thank you, Stephen, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.